All right, let's go. You know what time it is. Shout out where you're from, people. We are up and running. How you doing? How you doing, y'all? How's everybody doing? Hey, Kim, as usual. Good to see you. Where you from? It's Colombia. I just got back from Colombia. I got back from Medellin, Connecticut. I love Connecticut. They have Yale University over there in Connecticut. How y'all doing on Instagram, Canada? We got TikTok. What's going on, TikTok? Good to see you. Good to see you too. Don't forget, y'all, tomorrow I'm opening it up for more calls, right? I'm doing these one time calls. So if you want to qualify, go ahead and click the link in my bio because I got I got room for about 4 or 5 people tomorrow. So the first 4 or 5 people that sign up to have a one-on-one call with me tomorrow, as well as the exclusive group. Tonight we're actually going to be live. We're talking about how to detach from a narcissist or manipulator. We're also going to talk about how to um, basically walk away from a narcissist manipulator. We're going to talk about how to heal a little bit. It might be a two-part. So let's see, playing indoor playground. Yes, yes, Danny. Good to see you. So yes, like I said, if you want to work one on one with me, if you want to have that first time call, go ahead and click the link in my bio. I am taking it for tomorrow. My assistant will get back to you and let you know if you qualify. But remember, it's first come first serve. So you got to make sure you get it as soon as possible. Don't hesitate. All right, let's get to answering some questions, y'all. Good to see you, Boo. What's your name? Buby? I don't know how to say your name. Miss Green, good to see you. Good to see y'all on the talk, Pennsylvania. How to explain and make on. Hold on, what? How to explain and make understand a man. I think you might not speak English. This sounds kind of funny. How to explain and make a man understand that contact with an ex and liking other women's pictures, including his ex, is so hard for your woman. So you, here's the thing I can tell you. It's not that hard to understand that someone else can be hurt. And what you really need to do is ask a further question. Does this person really love you if they are not getting the fact that you can have pain? See, here's the thing. If I get hurt by something that you don't get hurt by, does that make it any less valid? So that's a real question. Is my pain less valid because you don't see it the way I do? Let's play the game. Because what I would say in that regard is you shouldn't have to try to make him understand. He should just be willing to accept it. Sometimes acceptance is not always about understanding. Sometimes I don't get it. Sometimes I'm not the same. But if that person loves you and they honor you and they respect you, then they're going to heed to your needs. They're going to say, "Oh, I realize you need this." When a man loves a woman, her needs become his priority. So if you're asking me, the reason why he's saying he doesn't understand it, from what it sounds like, is because he's just saying that so that he can keep doing it. He just wants to keep doing it. So I'm gonna be honest with you, there's not much you can explain because the more you explain it, the more you're wasting your time. They have to meet you halfway. There's this notion that, oh, if you find the right partner, or if you're dating someone, you're in a relationship with them, you have to keep explaining your point of view and why it hurts so many times. You don't have to keep explaining. You know what I mean? Like maybe once or twice, 3 at the most, but after a certain point, that person has to take the initiative to help you out a little bit and say, okay, well, maybe I'm not getting it. Is this what you're trying to say? But if they're immediately dismissing you, then they're not trying to be a partner in this. My exes who are friends with Matt's baby dad attacked me. Who's Matt? I don't know. I don't know who you're talking about. Have we talked before? How many months should you date someone before it should be committed and they get too comfortable? Well, here's how I look at it. It should take you no longer, this is my personal opinion, it should take you no longer than 6 months to know if somebody is marriage material, which means by 3 or so months, you should kind of know what you're dealing with, right? And then, people argue this because they'll say, well, how do you truly know someone? You got to take a year or two. Well, see, there's a challenge there because if that's true, then that means we'll never know because a person is always evolving and growing. They have new experiences, new opportunities, new situations that further develop their personality, right? So, why do we want to take that long? It's you're not going to really know them. They don't even know themselves. You're not the same person you were probably a year or two ago. There's probably things that you learned within the course of that year that have changed your perspective. So, honestly, you're not looking to learn about totally who a person is. You're looking to learn their patterns. And it only takes about 3 to 4 months to understand how a person's patterns go. Because it's really hard to fake your pattern for longer than that period of time, unless you're psycho. Happy Juneteenth. Happy Juneteenth, girl. They love you, but they don't want to deal with you, make it make sense. But they don't love you. That's the thing. Love is not just a feeling, it's an action. If someone isn't constantly showing you through actions that they're loving you, then they don't love you. It's that simple. Oh, I have a feeling. Oh, I feel butterflies. Do I bring up the commitment talk or wait for him to? It's been great months. Great months? Do you mean 3 months? So it doesn't matter who brings up the commitment talk. You could just say, what you can do is you can kind of set it up. Hey, I want you to come to this thing with me, but it's been a few months and we've been dating, just trying to figure out how do I introduce you at this point? Like, are we still just dating? Are we still just doing this thing? Are we moving towards a relationship? Just trying to know since we've been spending so much time together. I'm just trying to understand where we are with things because I don't want to call you anything you're not ready for. But to me, it feels like a relationship, but I don't know you. See, that's simple. If a person loves you, they will be kind and respect you and not manipulate and gaslight you. Exactly. Especially if they know how to love you. See, some people have feelings for you, but they don't really know how to love you. And see, that brings a new problem. If they don't know how to love you, if they don't know how to act in love, then yeah, it's going to be a huge problem. How do I know a guy is really into you or just being nice? I also have an issue to try to see myself attractive in a bigger body than a guy. I believe that guys don't like thicker girls. Well, that's with the idea that every guy's the same, right? There's no two guys that are alike. I know some guys that like really, really short girls, like 5 foot. I know some guys that like really, really tall girls, above 5'10", right? I know guys that like women that are thick, and that's all they want, right? Have you seen Columbia? And then I know guys who like girls that are, thinner. But the point is, no two guys are really alike. So that's the world that you might be creating in your own mind. And believe it or not, that can sometimes be a form of self-sabotage because it's almost like saying that there's this universal opinion that's working against you, which will almost make it easier for you to not put yourself out there. Because if I just tell myself that this is the truth, the universal truth, that no one's going to like me for this version of me, then I'm not going to feel as obligated to put myself out there or to try to work with someone because I already failed. And a lot of people do this even when they're dating too. Like they meet a decent person and they automatically assume that there's going to be some failure. So they create it in their minds and then they end up acting on it, right? It's almost like a fail safe. So you just kind of want to be careful with that thought process because I can tell you for a fact that's not true. That is not true at all. What's going on, Katrina? Pretty obvious. Let me see what's happening on TikTok. Let's see. Um, he cheated. Will he cheat again? He cheated, and will he cheat again? I mean, there's no way to know the future, right? But I would say this: once a person cheats, if they choose to cheat again, it is no longer a surprise. So that's one of the unfortunate parts about continuing to date someone that has cheated is that they've removed the air of mystery, right? That they could ever do it. Once they step across that line and they make that choice, because it is a choice, then they've removed the optimism that you could possibly have that it's probably 100% or 99% not likely. So now you can't really live in bliss anymore. Now you might be kind of looking over your shoulder because now people are going to say, well, if you knew this, if they, for example, if they cheat again, people are obliged to say, well, he did it the first time and you stayed with him. They're going to start looking at you as the problem now. So you might want to be careful when you decide to stick with someone after they cheat. Not saying that you shouldn't, but just realize that they ruined that potential doubt that you could have had in it. What's going on, Danny? Danny Rose with the wave. Thank you for the likes, y'all. Thank you for the likes. Matt is my baby's dad. Like I said to y'all, make sure you're applying. Make sure you're hitting the like in the bio because I am doing calls tomorrow. I'm doing one-on-one calls. These are for new people who want to talk to me one-on-one. If you have a situation that's going on that you want my expertise on, I'm giving that out tomorrow. All you got to do is apply, and my assistant will get to you and let you know if you have made the cut, and we will talk. Thank you for the likes, though. I appreciate y'all so much. Good to see you. Feels like you're speaking to me. Gain some weight and definitely have a negative outlook on dating. Well, you got to understand, there's some guys out here. See, let me tell you something. There are guys that love women that eat. Okay? Let me tell you, they love women that eat. They love women that have a little bit more. Okay? Like, I'm going to tell you, I'm putting myself out. I'm one of them. Like, I like it. I like a little bit of weight. I like that. But the point is that, what's bigger than all of that is confidence, right? Being confident in yourself, regardless. That's attractive because that's a quality that a lot of people don't have. And a lot of people will try to make you lose your confidence because you can pull off things that they can't. So that's what matters more. And there's going to be somebody that's going to like you for you. Because at the end of the day, none of that matters. What matters is, more than anything, is what you are. What's your character? See, we could sit here and talk about weight all day and talk about looks and talk about money. But what about character? Because let me tell you something that's lacking in today's society is genuinely good character. Instead of having good character, we just jump to the next person, right? We just say, let's make more money. Let's just hit the gym more. And that's cool. But then you wonder why long-term relationships don't survive, right? Thank you, Sonia. Thank you. But that's why long-term relationships are starting to fail. That's why marriages are starting to fail because of our character. There's some beautiful people out here walking around that haven't had a healthy relationship yet, that don't even know how to have one. So what matters more in this society today, to me, in my opinion, is character. You have great character, you ain't got to worry. Somebody's going to think you're so sexy. Let me tell you. See, I better not get blocked on this thing because they've been getting block happy with me lately. I had that issue. I was gaslighted and told, she said, assistant, yeah, yeah, small gig, you know, nothing too crazy. But it's to help me because I do sessions all day. I'm divorcing after 36 years. Wow, sorry to hear that. That's a long time. That's a long time. That's definitely not easy. And told that is so just social media and that I was insecure. Yeah. Let me tell you, when someone calls you insecure as an argument, that's not a good argument. Because you're telling me, let's say that's true. Can I not be insecure? Can I not have an insecurity? Am I not a human being? That's like getting mad at me because I have a stomach virus and I can't walk, right? Oh, you can't walk because you got a stupid stomach virus. I'm sorry. Like sorry about being a human. Man, you must be a pleasure at parties. You know, like just A1. You know. Oh, you drink half a Jameson and you're throwing up. See, can't handle your liquor. No, I can't. Sorry, I didn't make the cut for you on the list of things I should be able to do. Like, damn, are we supposed to be perfect? So using that as like an argument is kind of weird to me, you know. And I hear it's thrown out there so often. You're insecure. You're insecure. Nah. I'm like, all right, well, yeah. I don't feel secure about this. I don't feel blind security. I'm sorry. I don't walk through the planet thinking I'm safe in every single situation. You know, things have happened to other people, things have happened to me. I've had some traumatic events that I'm working through, but yes, I don't feel 100% safe in every situation that I'm in. There's some situations and some topics that make me feel unsafe. So the fact that you're using that against me and weaponizing it is kind of wild, right? Like what is that supposed to do? Make me feel better? You know what? You're right. I shouldn't be human. I should be a robot. You know, I should be flawed. I shouldn't have any flaws, right? How are you doing, Xavier? You pour so much into others. Please know you're appreciated. Thank you so much. I appreciate you saying that. That means a lot. It's our fault for getting in the situation ourselves. Granted, they're very smooth and persuasive. Mine flipped the switch when I moved in, got worse when I got pregnant. Yeah, yeah, that is true. I can definitely say I understand the smoothness. But like we said, you know, it's everything's a choice, right? And the best course of action may not even be the best course of action. You can take as much time as you need to get to know a person. You can take your time. You can do everything the right way. You can do a 3-month rule. You can do all of that. It's still not 100% guaranteed that you will have the person that you need to be with, right? They may change later. That's just the way of the game. But that's what I'm saying. Being more appreciative of the steps that you're taking to get there is what's going to help prevent that possible end result. Because what a lot of us do is when we date someone or when we like someone or when we sleep with someone, we tend to think of the future automatically. We're thinking 10 steps ahead. Like, oh man, well, what if we could do this? Or what if we make it till next month? We can start planning. What if we get married? What if we have kids? We start thinking about all of those things. And what our mind does is gets attached to the idea. You can't let yourself get attached to ideas, right? Don't let yourself get attached to that. It's okay to have hope, but you have to actively see actions, not words. Words are the worst thing to get attached to, right? Especially in the beginning. It's actions. And if you don't have actions that you are looking at, that you are actively seeing, I don't care what they say. It does not matter. Living in Delulu. That's a word. Here's what I'm saying. You know what? You got to come to my exclusive membership to hear what I think about delusional versus hopeful. I will say that in my exclusive group. You got to apply for it though. So click the link in the bio. If you want to hear what I think about being delusional versus hopeful and the healthy and non-healthy of both sides, I will say it in my exclusive group. Exactly. They will eventually show you who they are, but you have to pay attention closely. Yeah. See, that's why, I hear a lot of stories. I can tell you 99% of the time, and this is some real talk. Let me see if I can bring this mic over here. So I can tell you 99% of the time, when I hear people talk about how bad their relationship has turned out, they always say it was so great in the beginning. Every single time. Every single person. I have not had one person that was like, it was horrible in the beginning. So we're all getting fooled, right? But here's the thing. I'm not saying that that doesn't carry any merit. Maybe that's true. But I also understand that sometimes our perspective is colored by our own reality, right? So sometimes we tell ourselves things when we see hope. And sometimes that causes us to see past or overlook certain things. Most of the time when I'm working with clients, of course, I'll tell you how the other person was wrong and blah, blah, blah. But I also deconstruct the reality that they have created. You know how many people are living in hell because of the reality that they put in their mind that doesn't actually exist? You see what I'm saying? That's the bigger task. And that can come from something. It could come from your past, from past trauma, parents, social conditioning, society experiences. A lot of us tend to cope really big time. We cope. And that coping causes us to not see. Sometimes you shouldn't cope like that. Sometimes you should let it be painful. You caught this person doing something that he's not supposed to be doing. Let it hurt. Don't try to say, oh, well, maybe no, that sucks. And you should be able to have a conversation about that. And if he's the right kind of guy, he should be receptive to that, right? Just give and take. Oh, y'all getting wild here in the comments, man. Y'all are wild. How do you deal with rejection? How should I not, as there's a problem with me? LOL, probably it's just me and in my head. What I would say to you is here's the thing. I could give you a general answer, but it's not going to be as good because I think that you might have something specific that we need to talk about. So for you, I would say go ahead and apply in my link, and I'll let my assistant know that you want to qualify, you want to work with me, because I think that you and I need to have a talk. You and I need to have a talk. Let's have a good old chat, because I can tell you how to deal with rejection, but I'll personally tailor it to you. Sorry, I'm scrolling through the comments right now. I have a habit of going to the first comment, then ranting my behind off. If a man won't commit after 6 months, then run, right? And I'm not talking marriage, but just won't say he is my boyfriend. How did you get to 6 months? I mean, that's the first question. How are you 6 months in and you wanted a relationship and there's no commitment? Like, how did you even get past 3 to 4 months? That's half a year. Like what was the plan here? Because here's what I would say instead. Because your question is, if a man won't commit after 6 months, that's one way to look at it. Here's another way. How did a man get 6 months of your time without calling you his girlfriend? So you're telling me that he hung out with you. You guys probably did things that you would do in a relationship. He got all the benefits. And then he went out into the world and didn't have to claim you as his girlfriend. He didn't have to commit to you. He didn't have to be accountable to you. He was just able to do this for 6 months. I mean, you're asking me like, oh, if he won't commit, then run. I would say, why haven't you ran? What you doing here? It's these dating apps. It's too easy to move on and find someone new. No work needed. So here's what I can say about dating apps is that they're low key lying. It is not that easy because there's so many people that are on dating apps that are going. You have to understand, there's no real qualification system to getting on a dating app. You could be in a relationship, you could be in a marriage, you could be stressed out over your ex. It's not like they have therapists coming to your house and vetting you out before you get on the dating app to make sure that you're actually date ready. There are so many different kinds of people that are going through so many kinds of nightmare situations, right? So you think they're an option, but the reality is they might be going through stuff just like you are. So I know that people look at people and their eyes are bigger than their stomach and they're like, oh man, well, I got all these options still out here. They're not real options. They're human beings that are going through stuff just like we are. So as we're sitting here looking at it thinking, man, it'd be so much easier for me to jump on this dating app than to keep working through my relationship when things get tough, they're probably thinking the same thing. But see, here's the thing. No one is building character, like I said. Remember what I said about character? That's what builds character. Your smile is everything. Thank you. See, now you got me smiling. Don't say that. You don't make me smile too big. I'm a party pooper. That's why I don't party. I've given up on dating. Dating isn't about commitment anymore, unfortunately. Well, that's not true. And I understand if you want to give up, that's your right. But the reality is that the way to make dating work is we have to look at ourselves. Dating has more to do with ourselves than with other people. There are crappy people, there are people that suck, and there are people that are great. And the bigger deal, I can tell you how many times I've seen people attracted to the wrong people because they're attracted to people that mirror their trauma. Think about that. They're attracted to people that mirror their trauma. So if you want to give up on dating because of that, then you're going to miss out. Instead, what you should do, instead of giving up on dating, go back to the drawing board and figure out what went wrong, right? And if you're constantly pointing at the other person, that's okay, but we're missing opportunity because what you're supposed to do, here's how dating is supposed to go. It's supposed to be not even dating. It's supposed to be like kind of a game. Kind of like The Bachelor or The Bachelorette, right? You're just vetting people out. It's not supposed to be that deep. Okay, I like you. What's wrong with you? Oh, you don't want to have kids? I do. Doesn't work. It's that simple, right? Oh, I don't like the way you talk. Nah, that's not going to work. Oh, you have a low credit score. I have a high credit score. I don't want to get with somebody who does. It's not, like that's stuff that you can find out immediately and just walk. Right? It's literally just vetting, like you said, filtering process. It's supposed to be that fast, but the problem is that superficial starts to kick in, or my abandonment wounds start to kick in, or I don't want to be alone starts to kick in, and then we end up entertaining people we're not supposed to be with. Right? If you don't learn enough about yourself, then yeah, dating is going to feel like a nightmare for you. And not saying it isn't a nightmare for people who are self-aware too, but it's not as bad, right? It's you got to work on yourself, right? Like I can't stress that enough. Like I can speak from experience. My own dating life has improved 1,000%. There's still moments just like anyone else, but it's a lot less. Like I can already tell when the vibe is off. I can tell what probably happened. I know where to point at myself. I know where to point at the other person. It's so much easier now and I don't get in my feelings about it. And if I do, I'm able to get myself out of it. Cause I'm not gonna let one bad apple ruin the whole show. How to deal with a partner who has many female friends and someone who isn't really used to that situation. That depends more on you than them, right? First of all, well, first off, why do you feel bad about that situation? Like it's more about you. I would say you probably want to apply. You probably want to apply because I'd have to learn a little bit more about you because I don't. If you're not comfortable with that situation, there's the big question of the why, and then we'll have to measure out more in that regard. A lot of unhealed people trying to connect with yourself first and get therapy if needed. Yep. Yeah, some people have a problem with coping, right? Where I call it toxic coping. When you tell yourself things to make the situation better than it is because you won't face the reality of what it actually is. There's a reality that exists, but you're avoiding it because you want to keep the motivation. See, if you look at the chart of self-awareness, right? There's motivation. Motivation is one of the things in self-awareness chart. And I don't know if you guys have heard of this. But basically what it does is it says what motivates you to do this thing. What result are you looking for? And what some of us do is to avoid, right, losing something, we find a way to tell ourselves something that's not true in order to motivate us. And that's wrong. What you're supposed to do is look at something that's actively showing to be true and then motivate yourself that way. Thank you, Iwa, for the rose. So, motivation, right? What's your motivation? Because if your motivation is coming from a lie, oh yeah, you got issues there. Because that's always gonna humble you. You're gonna get hit with the humble stick so many times. You're just gonna give up. Like it's gonna keep hitting you because a lie is the truth is incontrovertible. I think that's the word. Let me look it up. I'm using college words now, girl. Let me see. Let me see. Yes, the truth is incontrovertible. So no matter how much you try to deny it, it will always come back to you. And as it comes back to you, the pain will ride along its coattails. If you want to learn how to get out of pain, you got to face the truth. And sometimes you need help with that. I can tell you for a fact, I didn't get here on my own. I needed someone to help me push further, right? Just like at the gym. I'm great at going to the gym. I can go every day. But that extra little bit of push that I need to get past those certain limitations, I need a trainer. Like sometimes you need help and there's nothing wrong with that. That's really what society I think is kind of meant for, right? A system where we all help each other. That's how we don't depend on other things that are not good for us. We are not at 6 months yet. It's been 3. Oh, it's been 3. Well, I mean, 3 is a good enough time to say, to understand where it's headed. Yeah. How to avoid catching feelings in the initial stages of dating when a guy is showering you with attention and affection. Apply. You're going to need to apply. I have a full dating course that will show you exactly how to navigate that. So for you, I would say click the link in my bio and apply. And you will get a dating course. Make sure you write that when you apply, right? Dating course. Because I can tell you exactly how to do that. I can tell you exactly how to make it. If other ladies are looking to understand this, I can tell you exactly how to make it so that you don't catch feelings in the early stages of dating, no matter how nice he is. And you keep your lens of discernment. You keep that clarity and that focus. I can tell you exactly how to do that. Let me see. Basically, I will give him not much more time because I'm a fool if I did wait 6 months. I wouldn't say you're a fool. I would say that, if you're not entertaining other options, then you're wasting your time. I would say your time is getting wasted. But yes, you are responsible for making sure that your time is spent correctly. Stop trying to find the right person, be the right person. Yeah. And the longer you don't become the right person, the longer it's going to take for you to find the right person. I feel bad energy in previous place, so I decided to move to a new one, but my husband don't get it. Well, here's the thing. Does he need to get it? Can't he just go with it? Sometimes we don't need to always get each other. Sometimes it's like, hey, you just need to go with it. Trying to make someone understand exactly how you feel about everything is sometimes not the greatest path because everybody's so different, you know? I can understand that, but there's some people that may not be able to get on board with that. My boyfriend got a text from a friend with the same name as his ex. Well, isn't that convenient? Claims it's just the friend and offered to show me the text, but said he'd be mad about it because I'm supposed to trust him. I would have looked at that phone. I know that's not the healthy thing. That's not the coach way, but I would have looked at that damn phone. I don't care because I need my peace of mind. Go ahead and get mad at me. I'm sorry. Like, it looks like you're texting your ex, you know? And I need this, right? I do trust you, but it's just hard because that's a triggering thing to see. See, here's the thing. He kind of put you on the ropes with that one. He was like, go ahead and do it, but I'm be pissed. Like, fine. I'll take it. You'll get over it. Sometimes, I'm be honest with y'all, sometimes you just gotta go there. You can't be perfect in every situation, man. Like, sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. I'm not saying do that all the time, but sometimes, you know, if something is off, you gotta check in. You know, if it's an all the time thing, that's a different story. But if it's like once in a blue moon, you just feel away, that's okay. It's okay to have feelings. The feeling of being seen, admired, and appreciated for who I am always makes me fall for guys who are good at giving me this feeling, but they are not serious. Because there's two versions of the situation. One, there's the guy who shows you that affection, and two, there's you and your choice to receive it. Right? So that's two at play here. Guys are showing you this, but are you choosing to receive it? But anyway, like I said, don't forget, and I'm plugging this in again, if you want to apply, we also have an exclusive call tonight. This is outside of social media, where I'll be saying stuff that I don't say on social media. Make sure you apply. Go in the link in the bio and apply. My assistant will get back to you. We're having it at 8 p.m. tonight. We already got a whole bunch of people signed up yesterday. A lot of new people are on board, and they are excited. They got a chance to talk with me. I'm taking calls for tomorrow, so it's first come, first serve. So I got about 4 or 5 spots. So whoever fills that up for tomorrow, you're the first to get it. So make sure you move quick so that other people don't jump ahead of you. If you've ever wanted to talk to someone or you needed that expert advice, go ahead and just apply immediately so that people don't get ahead of you. Immediately, because I want to talk. Let's chat. I can set you up for tomorrow. You have helped me a lot. Thank you. Thank you. So what about you go on a date with a guy, have an amazing evening, he keeps in contact the day after, then reads your message a week later, now saying he wants to see you again, then you reply. So this is gonna not be fun to hear, but I'm trying to find a way to say this without getting everybody riled up. When it comes to dating, it is not linear, right? For most people. We have grown up with this idea that dating is a certain type of pace and a certain type of way. Once I express interest, once you express interest, it's on. The train has left the station. We are in motion, right? Like we think of dating as a motion commitment, right? So I'm not saying that this is a good situation, but I'm not saying it's bad either. I'm saying don't ever commit to motion in the beginning as a possibility. It is so fickle. It is so, because like I said, there's so many things that could be going on with the person. They could be getting over their ex. They could be dating someone else. They could be interested in something else. They could be having a bad time at their job, right? They may have a mood shift. They may have something going on with their family. There's so many possibilities because we don't know this person. The only thing we know about the person is what we saw on day one, right? Or what we saw on that date. We had an amazing moment. We don't really know what they're like when they get back into their house, what stresses they run into, or what problems they're currently dealing with. So what I'm saying is that if you have a date like that and somebody replies a week later, what I would do is I would make sure to keep my options open and place them a little bit as a lower priority. I would still appreciate the good date. When you go on a date, we're not, here's what I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna give you a little bit of sauce, but to get the rest, you gotta apply. When you go on a date, the mentality is not, oh, this is a date to find out, that it's gonna go somewhere, right? Don't think that way. Change your mindset. The date is just a good time for that evening and that's it, right? It's just a good time for that evening. If we have a good chat, great. If the food is good and we're vibing well, great. Does that mean we're gonna see each other tomorrow? Maybe. Would I be upset either way? No, because no one's obligated. So what I'm saying is that there's nothing wrong with someone pacing themselves how they need to. The best thing you can do is make sure that you're always keeping your options open, especially in the beginning. Now, if it's been like 2 to 3 months, that's a different story. But if it's just been like one date, maybe two, in fact, nowadays, I kind of expect people to get rickety after the first situation because everything sounds good until you're signing up for the commitment of it, right? And also, I don't know if this is you, but sometimes we can tend to take that a little personal. If we go on a first date with someone that we thought was, if the date was dating, right? And then they don't talk to us, it's almost like, dang, was it something about me? Not saying that that's you, but just food for thought. All right, I'm looking at people applying. I see a few people that are applying to talk to me tomorrow. So we're filling up spots. If these people make it into the group, then we've only got like 3 or so spots. So if you haven't signed up to talk to me one-on-one yet, make sure you do it ASAP. Go ahead and get that link in the bio. A week later, I've already decided I'm not going to entertain that. But what's that about? That's what I'm saying. There's no way to know. And the fact that there's curiosity shows that there's a little bit of a thought process being carried on this. I think it's being given too much significance, right? Giving that much significance to one date and then expecting or having any expectation that there should be more, that's too early. It's too soon. Like people have so many situations. I would just not even, I was so nervous on a date, I didn't get player vibes. See, that's what I'm saying. I think that you've thought a lot about this. And I think that maybe that's what has to change. If the date was good, it was good. That doesn't take away from it. But just because the follow-up didn't happen doesn't mean that the person is bad, right? We don't know their situation enough yet to know. So I personally, I wouldn't cancel someone like that because I would have other options though. See, I would be talking to other people. I wouldn't let a week go by and I'm just ruminating this one situation. Like, you haven't invested enough time with me for me to contemplate you or rent space in my head. So If you came up a week later, I wouldn't even notice the week went by. I'd be like, oh, dang, I didn't even know. Oh, yeah, we dated. Whoops. Yeah, let's hang out. It should be very matter of fact, right? And that's how I look at it. And honestly, the longer this person takes to get back to me, the more I would treat them like a friend. Because you don't deserve, you haven't earned dating from me. Like, I'm not gonna be affectionate. I'm not gonna be all into you. I'm gonna treat you like a friend with potential. Do you believe on people checking on their partner's phone? I like my privacy, but I wouldn't mind showing as I have nothing to hide. Is it a red flag? They get mad and don't let you? You need to talk to me. Because every one of your questions is pointing to more. You and I just need to have a good old conversation. I'm not answering them on here because you're gonna have more. Because you got questions and I got answers. I wait for class. Class is amazing. I look forward to Wednesdays. The teaching is great. I always learn something new. Conversations are strong and hilarious. Thank you, Katrina. Thank you. See, that's someone who goes to my class right there in the comments. And she's been rocking with me for months now, right? So she knows. She knows. You all think you're getting value here. You're not, it's nowhere near the value you're going to get at our nighttime talks, right? And we actually all talk together. Like we get to use our voices. So you don't have to do it through these comments. Should I be worried if I have no interest? What do you mean by that? What do you mean should you be worried if you have no interest? If you have no interest in the person? What? What's that mean? I hope y'all are doing well. Thank you for coming to my live today. You know we're in here to give you the good word, to help y'all out. Make sure you're applying. I'm actually going to look at the form now. If you apply, let me know. I'm going to be on here, so go ahead and get to it right now. Do not hesitate. I'm looking to take people for calls tomorrow. Like I said, I only got 4 to 5 spots available if you want to do a one-on-one call with me. Yeah, make sure you go ahead and apply. Get on the link. Should I be worried? I have not been in a relationship for 6 years, and I still don't have any urge to be in a relationship again. Have you done any like self-reflection? Have you worked with anyone? Because I mean, if you maybe you don't need a relationship, maybe you don't genuinely want it, but if it's a feeling that you feel like you shouldn't have, if deep down you want a relationship, but maybe you don't know why you don't feel like you're naturally inclined to get to one, then I would highly recommend, maybe working through that. Cause yeah, for example, if I lost the want to be in a relationship, I would talk to my counselor because I wouldn't want to be in that space. I want to always feel like I could date someone or like I'm relationship ready, but that's just me. I know that wouldn't be normal for me. Maybe something happened, right? Maybe you're dealing with some pain. Maybe something happened before. Hola, Angela. Hola. My ex, who I dumped after cheated, got with someone who looks just like me, only uglier. What a statement. What a statement. Came from an abusive relationship, but I'm already over it. Okay. So what do you want to change it? What does that mean? Love is beautiful. Start with yourself. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. You followed me. Thank you for following me. I'm also single for nearly 6 years, but so happy. Well, if you're happy, then maybe you don't want to date. It's okay to be single and not date, even though I don't know if my page will help you. Hi, Xavier. I DM you, but I don't know if you got it because it says not seen. Where did you DM me? You DM me on TikTok? You trying to hold on. Oh, I see it now. I see it now. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna get your number then and have my assistant. She's looking at my DM too, so she'll get back to you. Yeah, go ahead and reply to the message. I just pulled it up. Your page is always helpful. Thank you. I'm single for 3 years and happy. Travel a lot and enjoy my life. That's awesome. I'm glad y'all are happy. I'm glad that everyone's happy single. Because that's what matters. That's what matters to begin with. The happier you are single, the better you'll be in a relationship, right? Because then you won't feel like you have to stay in it and you won't put up with stuff you shouldn't be putting up with. So that matters. Thanks to you, we are learning. Thank you. I appreciate it. The more successful you'll be in many parts. Yeah, I agree. More dating and relationship questions for people that are new here. If you have dating and relationship or marriage questions, I've got you covered. Yep. Let me see. Yeah, because I have married clients too. Do I apply for each one-on-one call? I was enjoying the call, but hated that I had to cut it short. Did I work with you already, Angie? The call last night. So Angie, yes, yeah. If you had the call, then that's only for the first time. So after that, it'll be like, well, talk to me after this. Talk to me after this. But yeah, that's for new people. They get the first time. Yeah, we'll talk. But I'm glad you enjoyed it. So you guys have proof right here that someone who applied for a call recently enjoyed the call that we had together. Do you feel like you got some value out of that call, Angie, when we talked? I start to give up of my marriage, Xavier. Well, then maybe you need to talk to somebody. Don't just sit there. Come on. I'm married to my BF. We love each other so much, but it's never like before anymore. Okay, well then I would say apply then. You apply. Apply, click the link. Yes, you did. I'm glad to hear that, Miss Angie. I'm 60 years, been dating all wrong. Your page is helping me. I'm glad to hear that. Yes, please apply. Or send me a DM. Is that gonna be online? Yep. Oh, but I can do a call on the phone too. Better to be told by a professional than to just hear what I want to hear. I agree. That's why honestly, for my stuff, I go to professionals. What caused you to get into this line of work? That's a good question. I think it chose me. You know, I've always wanted to help people, and love to me is one of the biggest things that most people want, whether they admit it or not. So, because I'm from Kuwait, but you have WhatsApp, right? I work with people outside the country all the time. So, I wanted to help love. You know, like I was one of the manipulators, and I've also been manipulated. I've been through bad heartache, and I love love so much. Like all the reality shows, all the movies, I watch them 10 times, 15 times over. And I wanted to make sure I got the tools, and I said, I have to work with everyone. You know, I want everyone to know there's some secrets that I've learned, there's some techniques and strategies. I've helped people get into so many great relationships and so many great marriages. I mean, you can see it in the reviews on Instagram, but to know that I had that ability just made me feel like now it's a responsibility. You know, it's my responsibility. Okay, okay, Drenna. Yeah, I'm gonna get my assistant. Will get back to you after this. Does everyone's situation take a toll on you and stress you out? It used to in the beginning, like 6 or 7 years ago. I've been doing this almost close to 10 years, right? So in the beginning, I think it did because I took everything as gospel. Like everything you said to me, I would just, not saying I don't take it serious, I still do. But now that I've seen so many common patterns and turnouts and reasons why people do what they do, it's more like it's a little bit more like a job because it's like, okay, well, you're saying this, but this happened and this, but this doesn't add up. I need you to see this. I need you to work through this. So it doesn't take a toll and stress me out anymore. No, it doesn't. Because all I can do is give you the truth, right? And it's up to you what you want to do with it. It used to, because I used to be so like, oh my God, why don't you get this? But then I started to realize that everybody has their own pace, you know? Everybody deserves grace. So it doesn't stress me out anymore. No, in fact, I love it. Like it's love. When I'm done after a long day's work, I'm happy. I feel like I did something, right? I feel like I accomplished something in my life. I want to do more. You are helping me with your videos, open my eyes to what I'm dealing with. Praying, and I out myself in therapy 6 weeks ago. That's good to hear. And like I said, you don't have to just rely on those videos because those videos are good too, but they give you a piece of the action. If you want to get in on the bigger calls, all of you are invited. If you want to get on the bigger calls, click the link in my bio and apply. And apply or send me a DM, but just apply to get into the bigger group because I go into way more detail with way more stuff. I tell you how to navigate it step by step, broken down by a science, right? You're welcome. Oh my goodness. Thank you, TikTok. Thank you. Perfect. Good to know. Absolutely. Trying to make sure I'm getting everybody. Yes, class is very well detailed. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you, Katrina. More questions. Yeah, today, in today's class, we're talking about how to detach and how to heal from a narcissistic relationship, manipulative relationship, like how to work through that detachment process, how to start to move out of it and get away from it. Like that's what we're talking about today. And that's going to be at 8 p.m., but you must apply. I'm going to look at the sheet now to see who's applied, see how many we got. All right, we got a few. Okay. Any more questions? See, like, that's what we're going to talk about. Today's class is going to be about, later on, is going to be about what's the most challenging thing you face while serving people in this capacity? What's the most challenging thing I faced while serving people in this capacity? I wish there was more of me to help more people. You know, sometimes I don't think I have enough time. It's a good question. Or enough bandwidth to help everybody. And, you know, I wish I could duplicate me. I wish I could. So I think that's what I'm going to look into at some point when I build this to be a bit bigger, when I build it like a more, you know, like this company, is that I would like to duplicate the strategies that I use to help people see how to make changes. You know, there have been so many times I've helped, like, I've been invited to classrooms, I've been invited out places, and they tell me, why don't they teach this? So I've had those moments and opportunities. What about y'all? How are y'all doing today? Where y'all watching this video from? Have you ever wrote a book on relationships? Yes, I did. It's on Amazon. It's called The 5 Toxic Dating Styles. It's a play off the 5 love languages. So, yes, it is on Amazon. 5 Toxic Dating Styles. I wrote it. From Chicago. But, like, where in your house are you watching this live from? You on the couch? You in the kitchen? You going to buy it? Thank you. Thank you. I need to write another one, to be honest. How do you heal from anger towards an ex? You got to come to class. Come to class tonight, and you will find out that is exactly what I'm going to talk about tonight. I didn't know you were an author. Yes, ma'am. I'll be authoring. Got to do it all, you know. That's an extra way for me to get the information out there without me, you know, having to work. Thank you so much. Thank you. If you purchase it, I really appreciate you. Feel free to send me a picture of you with the book, and I'll post you. I'm watching from an indoor playground with my daughter sitting on a massage chair working. An indoor playground? They have those? What if they got those in Virginia? You know? Dr. Kamal is in the house. If you ever need to figure out why you're suffocating while standing, go to Dr. Kamal. Yeah, I'm going to call you out, girl. She just walked into the live, like, getting all called out. Probably dropped out. No, you're getting it too. I'm going to work UPS loading trucks. That's crazy. So you're listening to me while you're at UPS, while you're loading? Man, that's dedication. I got to make sure I say the right things on here. I want to make y'all feel seen. Jungle of children. Sounds like I got a lot of ear infections. I'm just playing. Yo, when I was a kid, every time I went to McDonald's, I got an ear infection from those ball pits. Why is ear infection like the number one thing I got to get? Do they not have another kind of thing you can get? He needs a podcast so we get tuned in more. Yeah, I get told that all the time. I gotta do more. I gotta do more with that. My husband cheated on me with his secretary, and we are divorced now. When it happens, I meet a new guy. I ask him if he's married or in a relationship because I don't want to do. I don't know why reading through that made me a little tired. Um, my husband cheated on me with his secretary. That's so cliche. Like, I feel like if you're gonna cheat, like who still cheats with the secretary? That's like the oldest way to cheat. They've been doing that since the 20s. And we are divorced now. When it happens, I meet a new guy. I ask him if he is married or in a relationship because I don't want to do another woman like I was done to me. And they're a liar and they're single. It happened times. Well, here's the thing about some people who cheat. Sometimes they're not going to tell you they have someone. So there's almost no way. You can do that as a safety check. Like, hey, do you have a girlfriend? But there's a lot of guys who are really sleazy when it comes to that kind of thing. Like, they will be quick to saying, oh, I don't have a girlfriend, and they have a whole girlfriend at home or they have a wife. Like, you know how many married dudes are on Facebook emptying the clip on women on Facebook? It's like older married guys who like hit on girls all the time, like they're single. I don't know why they do this. I know why they do this. It's selfish. People live double lives. The husband is focused on work. That's why power couples. It happened 3 times. What do you mean it happened 3 times? Your husband cheated 3 times? I don't know if y'all are making comments on TikTok. TikTok is doing something funny with my... Oh, dang it. TikTok is doing something funny with my comments. Let me see what we got here. You mentioned want to grow your business. What's your ultimate goal for your company? My ultimate goal is to make it so that people have a one-stop shop to go where they can get real helpful advice on relationships and marriage and all those things. They don't have to keep going through so many different therapists and so many different places where people, because a lot of therapists, sometimes don't even know how to handle these situations. So I want a one-stop shop for love where it's highly revered. Everyone knows that this is the place to get the help. Even people who don't think they need help can go. And that's the hope, is to grow that. So, and make it so that there's a lot of people that are like me that can help you one-on-one, not just me. Just join the circus. That's funny. Megan with the questions today. I got to learn how to ask more interesting questions like Megan. Speaking of, so yes, like I said, if you guys want to sign up for the class today, it is happening today at 8 p.m., go ahead and apply. If you want to talk to me one-on-one tomorrow, Make sure you get in before other people do. Link is in the bio, but I'm going to go ahead and jump off for the day. But I appreciate y'all. I love y'all, and I will see you again. And I might jump on later, but who knows? All right, bye, y'all. Appreciate y'all.